You know, about the nurses,
Yes.
It's not that we're singling out anyone or any profession, because we've had some who have written us.
Yes.
In fact, they say that they've written severally. I mean, these are professional nurses, senior ones, who have written saying they've written numerous to nurses and Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. They cited several sections, section 1, subsection 2, paragraphs A and B of the Act 1979, how they should conduct themselves, but about quackery, and that nothing has been done. So there is that challenge about quackery in nursing. So just to put that in context, but about the case that the man made there, while he was talking about post-delivery.
Yes.
When he got in, saw the wife struggling, he called attention of nurses to come and attend to her. He was rebuffed. Nothing happened until he had the harrowing experience. But let's even hear from him directly and then take it from there.
I met my wife struggling with the oxygen that was fixed on her. I didn't even know how to fix it. She was begging me to come and help her fix the oxygen. I didn't know how to fix the oxygen. I didn't know where the oxygen was going to. So I was like raised an alarm. What is happening here? Nurses are here. Shouted in the ward there, and they shouted back at me. Are you not the husband of the? Go and bring blood now. The same blood I had been begging them since 5 o'clock on Wednesday. This is Thursday morning.
That's his case.
Yeah. This happens every time. You see, last time I came here, I quoted the Nigerian health system to be a state, as if we are in a state of persistent war. We're in a war zone. The Nigerian healthcare worker practices his art as if he's in a war zone. It's amazing how we're even able to have success rates in Nigeria. So I called healthcare workers in Nigeria supermen and women. Imagining the improvisation they go through. If half of the patients in Nigeria know what the person who is going to open your skull has gone through 8 hours before opening your skull, you wouldn't probably let him do it.
Are you justifying that he called out to the nurses and
I'm not calling out. I'm saying that there's what we call physician fatigue, for example. Now, how many?
So it's okay. This happens every time.
No, listen. Let me explain to you.
It is not okay for the nurses to reprove him.
It isn't okay. But
why do they consistently do that, and the reports keep coming up for the hospital? Are all the nurses under tension all the time?
Yes. Now let me explain to you, because we are looking at it from only one side. If you are the nurse who has sat down for 10 hours non-stop, seen hundreds of patients on end. Do you understand my point?
So now, to reduce the number of hours they have to sit.
What happens is this, that we need to invest more in the health system. It's like you're complaining that your car is making noise, but you are not servicing the vehicle. You will have problems. These people, when you look at the ratio of healthcare worker to patient, you'll be amazed.
We'll come to that in a minute. Markwe's got some questions. Okay. Markwe?
Well, there were questions in the area of, I think you're already approaching that already when you talk about the ratio of health workers to the patients and the fact that, there is what you call physician fatigue. Yeah. But then there's the question of care for patients. Yeah. I think that, in this instance, do you think that the patient will be able to know or recognize when he or she has been attended to properly by a medical physician? Do you think that patients are able to make that distinction when a physician has done his best and there was nothing else could be done, and a situation where it was negligence?
Trust me, a patient will know when a healthcare worker has shown interest, has shown genuine interest in taking care of him or her. I make this assertion with every sense of modesty. 95% of allegations against healthcare workers are non-clinical issues, they're attitudinal. That takes me back again to what? Investment in capacity building. If these nurses who shout at us when we take our friends and family members to hospitals know that we ourselves here can sue them, can take their licenses, can sue their hospital and get compensated. Yes, it is.
Is there a law that supports that?
Yes, it is.
What law is that?
The National Health Act, the Code of Medical Ethics, even the midwifery code allows you, when a nurse, for example, is rude or has malpractice against you, has failed to see your patient when the situation requires it, or has been negligent in treatment, you have a right to sue the professional involved, to sue the hospital involved. When you sue the professional, all you are trying to tell the world is that this person is not fit and proper to have a practicing license. This person is a danger to the public by him or her being called a nurse or a doctor, a pharmacist, or a lab technician. Now, when you sue the hospital, you are asking for compensation. So you have your right, but people are exploring it, you understand? But I am of the opinion that before we even encourage the whole world to sue them, let them themselves arm themselves by doing what I call creating a medical legal environment. Train their staff. Know that every patient is a potential lawsuit. And unfortunately, I'm very privileged to be a member of quite a lot of international bodies up to the leadership level. And I make bold to say that the Nigeria healthcare worker is one of the most precarious person. Let me tell you why. There is no defense of double jeopardy. So if I cut your leg, mistakenly I put the wrong leg, you can take me to the MDCN, they can take my practicing license, right? You take me to court, I can pay you 200 billion compensation. The state can call it recklessness and say, okay, attempted manslaughter or whatever, or disregard of life, and I can still do time. With one singular action, various levels of punishment. I hope it's clear. So Nigerians themselves need to understand that they themselves need to understand their rights, but at the same time, the practitioners themselves need, as a matter of urgency, to raise capacity of their staff and workers. The National Health Act has been enforced now for 2 years. I think it's only about 10% compliance and knowledge about it.
Okay, we need to go to break. We'll be back in a moment. Join us again. Let's see how we can bring this part in just before we wrap up. Yes, we looked at the case of, because the family said they will sue.
Yeah, and they have the right to sue.
So they want to test the law.
Yes.
Because they don't understand why would it take the MDC and almost 6 months until this matter blew up. That's when they are still investigating, which is another kettle of fish entirely.
Well, investigation, in fairness, is not a walk in the park.
Does that take up to a year?
You need to go through everybody that saw that patient. Every practitioner that saw that patient has to be investigated. What role they played. It just might surprise you that the problem started from elsewhere. So let them do their work.
How long does it take?
Well, we are hoping that they will even constitute the Medical Data Council.
We don't even know if that has been done.
It hasn't been done.
But nothing wrong in the man going to court.
No, nothing is wrong with that.
Nothing
is wrong with that. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Let's switch to this before we wrap up.
Yes.
This customs seizure, if we could flip to the next item. Those arms, ammunition, they say they cause proliferation of light arms.
Yes,
people are concerned, but you've also seen this. What do you think of it?
I am appalled at the paucity of knowledge in medical laws, bioethics, and forensics in Nigeria. This is not the first time I will see law enforcement agents go to scenes of crimes and totally compromise it.
What do you mean?
You see, the Controller General of Customs held gun with his bare hands on gloved fingers.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Totally. His fingerprints has compromised the evidence. It is totally unacceptable. I saw a picture online, 8 of them, showing it as if they won a trophy with ungloved fingers. They themselves have compounded the work they ought to do. We need to have proper forensics in Nigeria. We need to be able to secure crime scenes and not always be too much in a haste to just show the world we have done something. O.J. Simpson's trial was compromised, really, by virtue of exactly these same things. When people compromise crime scenes, how much do they sell gloves? That the whole Controller General of Customs will hold evidence. So by the time we start investigating and things like that now, you might find 2,000 fingerprints. There was a case of a highly politically exposed person killed in Nigeria. By the time the police came to Nigeria, they found 3,000 fingerprints on the body. Each policeman going there was touching. Everybody touches. We touch. Why must we always compromise? We watch television, don't we? We condone all crime scenes.
On the lighter note, what if it tells you, Mr. Osanyan, we touched how many? Is it up to 100 we touch? I have 1,100.
Well, it's like pouring 1 drop of kerosene in a big pot of rice.
But you still have some that are unwrapped.
It's already compromised. And look, the credibility of the investigation is in doubt. So we need also not only to train our enforcement agents on how to carry guns and arrest people and secure people, we need to also teach them on forensics, how to cordon off and secure crime scenes. That's why most of the convictions we have in Nigeria today, as now I speak as a lawyer, not as a medical lawyer, are essentially based on confessional statements, because proper investigations can't be done because everything has been compromised.
Do you think anything will come out of this investigations coming out? Because this is the third time we're having this kind of situation.
I would like to hear I'd like to hear the outcome of the previous ones first. I would have liked them, if they had let these goods go out of the port, if they have trailed it to the final destination, then maybe we can have, a big, success rate in terms of, okay, we've cracked down on these people. But with this, we can only hope for the best. I'm patriotic Nigerian.
All right. Yes, indeed. We'll anchor at that point. Laolu Osanyan is a medical lawyer, also a member of the board of governors of the World Association for Medical Law. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's not over. I mean, not today. I'm talking about moving forward for the rest of the week. We'll keep this matter in the burner. But that's the show today. We thank you all for watching and for your comments as well. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Thanks for watching. I'm Gimba Umar.
Well, many thanks for your contributions, Maupe Ogun.